Hello family, welcome to this new video from MoonwatchFR. Today, it's the 100th review I'm presenting to you. Yeah, the 100th. And for the occasion, I absolutely wanted to show you a timepiece that I love, one of the most beautiful pieces in my collection. It's the IWC Big Pilot Monopusher Le Petit Prince. Once we've said that, we're a bit tired, but this watch truly deserves it because it's absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's get started family. The IWC Big Pilot Le Petit Prince Monopusher watch is a special and limited edition of the legendary model from the Schaffhausen manufacturer. Indeed, the IWC Big Pilot collection, launched in 2002, is directly inspired by IWC's most legendary watch, the Bihur from the 1940s. In 2013, IWC developed a range of watches, Le Petit Prince in tribute to Saint-Exupéry. For the launch of these watches with a stunning sunburst blue dial, IWC announces an incredible watch, the IWC Big Pilot Perpetual Calendar. Since then, numerous references of the IWC Big Pilot watch from the brand IWC Schaffhausen have been developed, but a chronograph was missing. In 2021, IWC unveiled the first chronograph of this Big Pilot collection, with the specific characteristics of the model, the Little Prince. In order not to alter the aesthetics of the Big Pilot watches, IWC chose to design a single pusher chronograph watch with only an oversized crown adorned with a discrete button in its center. This edition, limited to 500 pieces, then houses a manufacture movement with winding manual, which offers an impressive 8-day power reserve displayed on the back of the caliber. In short, this IWC watch, the Little Prince Big Pilot single pusher, is an exceptional timepiece. As soon as I saw it announced in various media, I knew that I wanted this watch, simply because it represents everything I look for in a watch. Manual winding chronograph, large diameter, excellent readability. In short, for me, this watch was truly a dream watch. Today, I am very proud to be able to present it to you. The specifications of this IWC Big Pilot, the Little Prince Monopusher, limited edition of 500 pieces worldwide. It is a watch produced in 2022, a men's watch with a stainless steel case, brushed and polished finish, the rather substantial dimensions of 46 mm in diameter for just under 15 mm in thickness. We will find an in-house movement, 59365 with 36 joules, which offers a power reserve of 192 hours. The watch is water resistant to 60 meters. The crown is signed and is a monopusher, meaning it is the one that will trigger the chronograph. We will find a glass sapphire, which is protected against air pressure drops, so something interesting for pilots, obviously. Regarding the strap, it is a brown calf leather strap with a stainless steel deployant buckle. The lug width measures 22 meters. The reference number of this version is IW515202, and the complications are quite simple. They include the date, the chronograph, and the power reserve that we find on the caliber. The case of this IWC Big Pilot watch, the Little Prince Monopusher, is imposing as it measures 46 mm in diameter and 14.6 mm in thickness. At first glance, these dimensions may seem enormous, but the case has short lugs, quite short, and as a result it allows this watch to be worn on a wrist that measures 17 centímetros, which is my case. So obviously we're not going to be in the realm of a dress watch. It remains something bulky on the forearm, but it sits very well and it's so beautiful. Next, we find a discrete bezel, a fixed bezel that enhances the power and beauty of this sunlit frame. The entire case revisits the fundamentals of watches. Vintage IWC Big Pilot, large diameter, excellent readability. To continue, we have a magnificent signed crown, which allows you to set the time, the date, and also when the watch. Obviously, its grip is excellent since it's a large crown, the typical crown of the Big Pilot. Additionally, on this limited edition chronograph version, the button in its center can be activated to start the chronograph. It's just amazing. Here we immediately see the second hand start moving. We will press it again. It will stop it. Press again. It resets. It's amazing. Here, winding the movement is really perfect. It works very well. The case back, on the other hand, is transparent and reveals a magnificent caliber. It's incredible. This caliber, this case back ensures water resistance up to 60 meters, which is really not much, I agree with you. After all, it's not a diving watch, it's an aviation watch, so it's more meant to be in the air than in the sea. Several inscriptions will decorate this superb case back, including the unique number of the IWC Big Pilot Monopusher limited edition watch. In addition to this movement, which is crazy, it's clearly the dial that is absolutely sublime. On this IWC Big Pilot, the Little Prince, it is a sunburst blue dial. This dial variation is specific to the Little Prince references at IWC. The color changes depending on the exposure, sometimes light blue, sometimes black. It's quite impressive, the range of colors that this sunburst dial can take on. It is truly magnificent. Next, we find large indices and a railway track that decorates the edge of the dial. Obviously, luminescent material of the superluminova type covers the indices as well as the large hands. The readability is excellent both day and night. Moreover, we will also find a date window at 3 o'clock. I'll show it to you. And I find that the integration of this date window is very clever because it replaces the number 3 index, so it doesn't necessarily overload the dial. We will obviously find the IWC logo at 3 o'clock. Also, since the small seconds hand is placed at 6 o'clock. The chronograph minute counter, on the other hand, has been placed at 12 o'clock. The whole is really homogeneous, and I find that the integration of these different elements within the dial is truly successful. The advantage of having a large diameter watch with a nice open dial is that it's possible to insert several elements without feeling overloaded. When you take a Breitling Navitimer, the dial opening is not particularly large, and there are many elements, so immediately you get a feeling of crowding. Here, on a Big Pilot IWC, Petit Prince, Monopusher, that's not the case at all. Finally, we find a sapphire crystal protecting the dial and the hands. It benefits from protection against air pressure drops, which is interesting since the IWC Big Pilot watch is primarily an aviator's watch. This IWC Big Pilot watch, the Petit Prince Monopusher, houses a manufacture caliber 589365 that is simply stunning. This manual winding caliber features a chronograph activated by the Monopusher. The green sapphire on this caseback allows you to see a power reserve gauge that displays 8 days. So it's quite nice. You could also find this on some Grand Seiko models. Seiko, I love it. I'm really a fan. Manual winding is really... My little guilty pleasure is having the power reserve display as well. I find it amazing. As one might expect, this caliber approaches what is traditionally called haute horlogerie. It is composed of 36 jewels, has manual winding and also 28 800 beats per hour. The observed precision is not lacking, as I measured less than 1 second of drift per day over 15 days. Let me tell you, the watch is ultra precise. The chronograph is a column wheel type chronograph, wheels that can be seen right here. Next to the power reserve, it features a second hand and a minute counter located at 12 o'clock. Right here, the action and use of the Monopusher is relatively smooth and frankly, very pleasant to use. In short, this caliber. The IWC, in-house, is simply splendid, and I take great pleasure in watching the gears and various components. To be honest, I find that these decorations enhance the movement, and you can feel that IWC wanted to offer an exceptional timepiece. With this limited edition, so like the Monopusher, it remains something quite rare. I suggest giving you a little demonstration of the chronograph. So I will press the crown once to start it. There we go. We will see the second hand start moving. We will see the timer being raised. To stop it, I just need to press it again. And to reset it, I just need to press it a third time. And there you go. In fact, when I received this IWC Big Pilot Monopusher, I was a little disappointed with the look of the strap. Indeed, I'm not particularly a fan of riveted straps, but I still preferred to keep the original strap on the watch and wear it like that. Quickly, I started to appreciate this brown calf leather strap mounted on the IWC deployant clasp. The clasp is simple, but it becomes absolutely sublime the more you wear it. The leather, which was quite stiff, has softened a bit, and you have to admit that the watch, it sits beautifully on the wrist. Regarding comfort, there's nothing to say, it's just exquisite to wear. Despite the thickness of almost 15 mm, and a substantial diameter, this IWC Big Pilot doesn't look shocking on my 17cm wrist. The DNA, even of this watch model, is respected. When I see a Big Pilot with a 40mm or 43mm diameter, I feel like laughing. Big Pilot, guys, it means exactly what it says. The original model was over 50, I believe, so already at 46, they made a considerable effort to reduce it. I must still point out that the deployant clasp left me puzzled the first few days. It's comfortable, but the closure is just clipped. The closure seemed a bit fragile to me, rest assured. After several weeks of wearing it, the deployant clasp has never opened. It must be said that the double retention here, with the loop, it really secures the wearing of this. Finally, if I want to change the strap, no problem, since the standard lug width is 22mm, which allows me all sorts of creativity regarding strap changes, even though I think I'll keep it on this superb IWC leather for a little while. When we talk about an exceptional watch, we mean a high-price IWC announces this Big Pilot limited edition to 500 pieces, single pusher edition at a public price of 17,200 euros. Of course, we are not at all talking about an entry-level watch, and the price is justified for many reasons. The exclusivity of only 500 pieces worldwide. By an incredible caliber, my calibers which are also used in other references of the brand, exemplary. Definition. Well, for me the price is justified. It's truly an amazing piece. As one might expect, it is no longer possible to find this watch in stores. And even when the watch had just been unveiled, the task was not easy to give you an idea. For me, it took more than a year to get it. This watch is very complicated, very complicated to find. Even going to an IWC dealership, it wasn't simple, even through the IWC concierge service. It wasn't simple, so I am really very happy to have it today. On the grey market, it is possible to find some. There might be maybe 5 or 6 available, very few in Europe. And the price can reach up to 20,000 euros regarding the packaging. I must admit that I was extremely disappointed. Where other brands might go overboard with suitcase-sized boxes full of decorations, frills, whatever you want, here, IWC book, it comes in a simple white cardboard box, inside which you'll find a rather traditional travel case. And the watch placed on a presentation cushion. So there's nothing to say. The leather of the case is clean, the box, the finishes, it's perfect. But this is not the packaging of a limited edition. This is the packaging of a classic edition from WC. And as proof, I will show you the outer box. So I usually show you the outer boxes first, but here I wanted to show you this one. Because the outer box is a chrono, the Little Prince, but we don't find the same watch reference. At first I thought, damn, my AD made a mistake with the box. Well, no. In fact, IWC didn't bother too much. They didn't create dedicated packaging for the 515-202 and reused existing packaging from other versions, Little Prince, chronograph. So, big disappointment regarding the packaging. Dream watch, that's the word that best sums up this IWC Big Pilot with manual winding. From its announcement, I knew this watch would be perfect for me because it combines all the specifications I look for in a watch. Readability, manual winding, chrono, precision, comfort. In short, that's why I absolutely wanted it. It wasn't easy because the watch is expensive, it's rare, it's a limited edition. Moreover, it was a huge budget for me. I had to sell quite a few pieces from my collection to be able to acquire it for all these reasons. After several months of searching and saving, I was like a kid once I had the watch in hand. And since then, I won't hide it from you, it hardly ever leaves my wrist. So yes, it's big. Yes, it's a particular style. But in this IWC version, the Little Prince, the dial is splendid. Just like this incredible Monopusher manufacture caliber that I find amazing. So much so that I even consider this piece as a piece of haute horlogerie. Now I know it's going to make some people angry who will criticize me. But for me, it's there. IWC doesn't just make standard watches for the general public. They also make some exceptional pieces like their coupe, like this Monopusher for me. Ultimately, the sacrifices that allowed me to acquire this horological beauty were not in vain, but it was worth saving for many months to be able to acquire this little gem. So there you have it, folks. My presentation on this IWC Big Pilot Monopusher is coming to an end. I am very happy and very moved because this is my 100th watch review. I've been quite criticized. Yes, you present inexpensive watches here, but you should know that I have presented all kinds of watches. Expensive ones, inexpensive ones, tributes, non-tributes, beautiful pieces, less beautiful pieces. But for the 100th, it's really a piece that was dear to my heart. So there you have it. I hope you'll leave me a little comment on what you think of this model. Did you know about it? I will be happy to respond. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, friends. If you haven't done it yet, it helps to give us support. And I say to you, see you soon in another video. Take care, family.